What is up? This is Politicking with Precious, your sister, your cousin, your neighbor, and your friend. Listen, the Senate is meeting with Kim CHEATLE as we speak, and they are giving her the business. Do you understand me? If you don't know who that is, Kim CHEATLE is the head of the Secret Service. She was the head of the detail that was over Trump during his assassination attempt. Now, we are just going to take a brief snippet. I'm going to show you a brief snippet of what's been going on in the Senate meeting. They have Kim CHEATLE under fire. And this particular senator, I basically recorded him because he gives her the business, but it is the gist of what everybody else is saying and what have all the other senators are feeling and what they're thinking. So we're just going to take a quick look at this clip and we're going to be right back.
Was he provided a full security complement akin to what a sitting U.S. president would receive?
He was provided a full complement of security based on the threat assessment that we had.
That's not my question.
And the venue.
My question is, if he'd been the sitting president, would he have had the same security he had on July 13th, or would have been beefed up?
There is a difference between the sitting president.
So your answer is he didn't.
And continuity of government and the responsibility that we have.
So he did not. Okay, there wasn't a CAT team, a full CAT team on site. There wasn't counter-surveillance teams on site. But this is the thing. You just said you had the ability to beef up the security. You knew about the threat, and you didn't. And that's as telling as it is chilling. We have satellite images from the Butler Fairgrounds. Have you visited the site?
No, I have not.
9 days and you have not visited the site. You should have been there that night. Did you talk to, that evening, did you talk to the team, the heroes that surrounded the president? Did you call them that night?
They were still operational work.
So that's an answer is no. Did you call them the next day?
President. Yes, I spoke with
You called them the very next day, not the day of, or was it 72 hours after?
I don't know the timeline, but I spoke with them.
Okay, because you're under oath.
Immediately following.
I think it was 72 hours after. You waited 3 days. What is immediately clear is that there are a number of structures that need to be secured. Of these, Director, other than the first, immediate 4, what's the most dangerous site that should have been secured? Because Security 101, you got to mitigate the high ground.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what the next most dangerous site, what was the closest structure to the president, other than the 4 immediate ones that you had your counter-sniper teams on?
There are a number of structures around that event site.
You know who the shooter knew? The shooter has visited the site 2 more times than you have, and he had a drone, and he picked the AGR building. So you said, do you remember in an ABC interview you did that you didn't have people on the roof of the AGR building because you were worried about safety because of the slope?
I recall that statement.
Okay. Does the Secret Service have written policy you can share with us about slope roofs?
No.
Okay. So why'd you act like there was one? Because is it your practice to comment on enormous events of enormous national implications when you're ignorant of the facts? That's rhetorical. So here's this thing with the slopes. You go all up to like 1812, you can go to a 112, which is about as flat as you can get without it being completely flat. And you're saying that there was a danger, safety concern there, but the problem is, Director, you put your counter snipers on a 312 roof, which is steeper than the 112. And by the way, the 112 is ADA compliant. You can build a ramp for a wheelchair on a 112 roof. So these are nothing but pathetic excuses, and they make no sense, and they're a bunch of cow dung. All the law enforcement I've spoken with over the last 9 days are amazed that the AGR rooftop was not secure. And you want to know why? Because it's dangerous. I have never had any long gun training in my life. I own an AR-15, and last time I shot it one time my whole life. It was 6 years ago. That is until Saturday, where we recreated the events in Savoy, Texas, where we recreated what happened in Butler. I was lying prone on a sloped roof at 130 yards at 6:30 at night. And I knew that he had a scope. I didn't know what kind, red dot or magnified. So I shot 8 rounds from both. You know what the result was? 15 out of 16 kill shots. And the one I missed would have hit the president's ear. That's a 94% success rate. And that shooter was a better shot than me. It is a miracle President Trump wasn't killed. Corey Torre's life is over because that damn shooter made it on the roof. And it wasn't the roof that was dangerous, it was the nut job on top of the roof. You know what else is dangerous? I believe your horrifying ineptitude and your lack of skilled leadership is a disgrace. Your obfuscating today is shameful. And you should be fired immediately and go back to Garden Doritos. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
These senators are not playing with her ass. They say you don't even deserve to resign. You need to be fired, along with several other people who missed the mark. And the only way we're going to get true accountability if people are fired around here. He said, you need to be fired. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. She absolutely does need to be fired. For some reason, in this Senate meeting, Kim CHEATLE does not want to give any specific information about what her investigation, what the FBI's investigation has come to thus far, which is really, really, really pissing the senators off because, ma'am, you were supposed to come here prepared with answers, period. It's been 9 days of an investigation. Kim CHEATLE has not went back out to the place that the rally was in, which was in Pennsylvania. She has not went back there to scope out the area. She has not went back there, I guess, for any investigations to talk to the people that is in that town, in that area. Nothing. It took her a full 3 days, 72 hours to actually make contact and speak with those special agents who are actually on the stage with Trump, who risked their lives, risked getting shot. It took her 3 days to make contact with them. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. I'm sure the first 24 hours she cried, baby, no. Baby, no. And the Senate is not playing. They are digging deep. They are asking very specific questions. They are asking very, like I said, specific questions. And Kim CHEATLE cannot answer none of them. She's saying to the senators that it's going to take about 90 days to conclude this investigation. And like they said, Miss CHEATLE, unacceptable. You should have had answers for us today. You knew this was coming today. And they specifically asked her, is there anybody who is telling you not to give us answers about the subject at hand, about the matter at hand? And she danced around that question as well. I'm an agree, and this isn't a Republican or a Democratic, a left or a right situation. It's not a Biden and Trump situation. It's or Trump and Kamala at this point. It has nothing to do with the parties. All of these senators are worried about what in the hell is going to happen thus forward, and what can we do to restore the faith that the citizens are supposed to have in this government, in their security, in their protection. How can we restore their faith? Because ma'am, it's not with you. It's not with you. It's not with you. They asked about the timing in which she was notified that there was a potential threat. She was asked if she informed Trump that it was a potential threat and that there was somebody on the roof with a assault rifle. They also asked if they had known potential threats. Why wasn't security beefed up? But a former wife of a sitting president, had more security at one of her banquets than Trump had at his presidential rally. It's not making sense. It's not adding up. There do need to be several people fired in this instance. Several people dropped the ball on this, or several people let some shit slide. Either way it go, fire them. Get her out of here. Get them out of here. Period, point blank. We just cannot have this issue going on in the United States and for the whole world to see just how weak our security system is, just how weak our secret service is, just how weak our FBI services is. All the letters. How weak all the letters is. It's showing them how to infiltrate us. It's showing them where our weak spots are. And it's unacceptable. Kim CHEATLE does need to be fired. Not resign. Baby, we not paying for your life of luxury when you didn't drop the motherfucking ball. Now, did she put in her motherfucking work? All those 20-something years previous, should that go down the toilet? Probably not. Give you a nice little severance package. Nice little severance or something. Go ahead and sing. Good little severance. Well, I guess go ahead and resign. She shouldn't get everything taken away from her. Everything that she worked and built up for this specific instance, I don't think she should be totally fired. Resign with some benefits, but she needs to get up out of that position. Period, point blank. She doesn't need to be the head of anything. She doesn't need to be sitting behind the desk in the Secret Service office. She doesn't need to do any of that. She needs to be out of there. She needs to find a whole new line of work. She needs to open up her own business, preferably not in the security arena. But yeah, I definitely call for her resignation as well. Immediately. We don't need to wait until the investigation is over. We've heard enough. We've seen enough. And to coincide with Trump, or not Trump, but Biden dropping out of the race because he clearly has some medical issues that they are not letting us be privy to, which is fine. But don't tell us that nothing's wrong when we can clearly see something's wrong. That's another thing that the American people are tired of. They need to really restore the faith in their services, restore the faith that the people once had into the government. We need a restoration. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And the Senate also tried to make this meeting about your right to bear arms. So just know that's coming next. Real heavy. You know, anytime there's in any type of situation with any type of artillery, any type of weaponry, whatever, that is what they are going to revert back to, especially the Dems. But yeah, this is Political with Precious. Tell me what the hell y'all think. We have lived through so much history in the last 40 years. It's crazy. Like, our great grandkids is going to be hearing about this. This is going to be in history books. What a time to be alive. Make America great again, I guess. Anyway, this is Political with Precious. Your sister, your cousin, your neighbor, and your friends. Y'all know what people say at the end of their videos. Like, comment, and subscribe. It don't cost you a thing to ride with me. Okay? Okay. Talk to y'all next time. Bye.